Welcome to Fusion Point for all your GeForce Now and Xbox news with your hosts Barry and Duncan. Good evening.
Good evening.
We're back again. We're here. Yeah, it's been a while. We're back again. We're doing this nonsense again. So this is going to be a load of fun. We've got lots of GFN news to talk about. It's been 4 years with GFN.
It's gone quick, isn't it?
It has. We've got a couple of big games coming this week. I'm going to get it over and done with and say they've shut their load in the first week. The rest of the month's not looking too hot, but we will come on to that soon.
There's never counting for taste.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. For me, 100% the load has been shot in the first week of February. And yeah, it's an interesting rest of the month, which we are going to have a bit of a look at. Barry says it's a good month. I think it's interesting. Am I saying anything wrong?
No, because you're saying your opinion, so there's nothing ever wrong with your opinion, is there?
There's always stuff wrong with my opinion. For people watching now, go vote in our poll. I just made it nice and simple. None of this good, very good, and all that. It is good, okay, or my one poor. What did you think of this week's news? No, I think it's actually okay. This week's news is okay. It's okay. But we already knew these games coming. So, Barry, since we haven't been here a while, what have you been playing? Okay, I'm moving swiftly on.
Moving swiftly on. Time's been taken up with other things recently, so gaming-wise, I haven't had a vast amount of opportunity to get some stuff done, which is why we've been a little bit quiet on the channel as well.
Yes, there has just been a lot going on. I have been playing a load of games and still flittering away between them all, but we'll just go straight under the news here. If anybody really wants to know what I've been playing, I will let them know. It's just a whole load of different stuff, which would take about 6 years for me to go over and explain. But yeah, we will continue on here. Barry, you can go for you can start doing this here. There we go. The big news. What's the big news which you described on your video earlier?
Well, it's obviously following on that CES announcement. In January, we've got Diablo and Overwatch 2 kicking us off in Feb, which are the obviously Steam versions of the titles, with the Battle.net launcher being worked on soon.
Coming soon TM, as we know. So the Battle launcher isn't here anyway. Will people want to be playing that, or will they want to be playing on Steam? That will be a bit of a discussion point anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Call of Duty. We know Call of Duty's there. That's just the start of it. So the big news, as you were saying there, is Diablo is on GF, and we're still waiting for that to drop onto Game Pass. I think we're not too far. I don't think we're going to be waiting too long for that. When do you think it's going to drop?
I still think it'll be longer than you think for Diablo 4 to be dropping into Game Pass. I think we're probably 3 months away, possibly.
3 months. We're saying sooner or later. I'm going to go sooner. I think we're going to get it pretty damn soon. If some of the rumors which are dropping here which we will talk about shortly as well, come to pass. If what's happening in Microsoft land, I think they're going to really need to push the Game Pass stuff to continue to do that. I'm looking very bright, aren't I? Depending on
you are a wee bit bright, yeah.
That's because I am a star and all that carry on. See, I don't know if I can make it better or not. No, I'm making things worse. I don't know what's going on here. Anyways, we will move on. So Diablo is coming, or it's available now along with Overwatch 2. So go check them out. The best game of the week is Rage 2.
Well, it's controversial. How many of the others have you played?
None. But Rage 2 is the best game now.
Rage, to be fair, Rage 2 is a solid addition this week, for sure. It's a great title.
Yeah, and you probably have it if you've been collecting your Epic games, because I'm pretty sure that was an Epic free game at some stage. We will come on to that, and we have a load of other games coming, which we will jump on to now.
Evening Case Ball.
See, Case Ball's on your team.
Told you. With the Case Ball, can you educate Duncan, please? He said that this is okay. Well, he was started at poor, then he brought it up to okay. Maybe by the end of the episode, maybe we'll be maybe we'll have you up to good.
No. I think if you take out this week's games, I think it's pretty poor. The reason why it's okay is because of these games. But the problem we've got when you about Bang on Balls, Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2, we knew they were already coming, which they came this week instead of whenever. So that's why I'm not like, oh my god, just because we knew these were coming. Oh, hi, Polaris, thank you for jumping by. Stop doing that.
Hey, Polaris has dropped by. He's glad to see us back. And thank you for the 10 Canadian pesos.
Yes, thank you very much. Really, really appreciate it. So we're going to go into this, and let's just see. Anyway, we'll start off with your favorite game, which is Bang on Balls Chronicles. And yeah, I'm not going to go through the wee description there because I think it's a bit of just takes too much time just to go through that. I was actually recommended this game of someone a couple of months ago, and they said it was absolutely banging and well worth trying. And yes, that was. Did you like that one?
He's got a put in there.
Yes,
you're on the ball.
And they were saying, yeah, this is well worth trying. I would probably give this a go, but that's the price point in this. Again, price points are always important. 20 quid for this? Probably not.
No, probably not. It does look like it's worth giving a try, but yeah, I don't think you'd be spending 21 quid on this for sure.
Yeah, looks dead on. Polaris, thanks. If you want us to talk about anything, just let us know in the chat there, and we will go on to it. We're going to be covering Microsoft. We'll talk about the PlayStation conference as well from last night.
No, I still haven't got my 40 minutes of my life back, so
I'm going to tell you, I enjoyed the PlayStation show better than the Xbox show. But the Xbox show had a higher high in indie. If that makes any amount of sense, I would play the vast majority of the PlayStation games, but there was not, oh my god, I want to play this one on top of Indiana Jones. And we know the vast majority of both of them are going to be coming to PC, if not the GFN. Anyway, we know the Microsoft ones will be, but we'll come on to that shortly. So Bang on Balls looks dead on, maybe wait for a sale. Obviously the big game of the week is Diablo 4. I'm gonna say this. Diablo 4 was out in October. I have had it since October. How much have I played it?
Well, you probably haven't played it at all.
It's installed, ready to go on my Xbox because I got a Wii Xbox for recording purposes, and I haven't played it at all. It's installed. Go.
You're missing out.
Am I really missing out?
Oh yeah, I think you are. It's got a good story in it, and you get to the end game, and off you go.
Yeah. I wonder why it's got mixed reviews on Steam. Oh, it's lovely stuff there. Not just lots of issues, server issues. But I know people are loving
it. Genuinely, I mean, I've played it and I've had a stack of fun with it. I've got the Battle.net version, so I can't leverage it on GFN at the minute. But I think it's great that it's at least here via Steam. And of course, it's worth saying, I should say, it's easier to onboard the Steam versions because it's something they're already working with, whereas obviously Battle.net is a new launcher.
Yeah, don't be worried. What I'm actually surprised about in this is I probably wouldn't have that version yet anyway, or Microsoft Store version.
Yeah.
I would wait till that, and Game Pass wait for that. Next up is Overwatch 2. I know this is going to be absolutely... I know a lot of the issues here, but people are still playing it, so don't be worried about that. And the best news is it's another free-to-play game. I think despite the negative reviews, it's worth giving it a bit of a shot anyway.
Oh, God, yeah. There's still a vast amount of people that are playing it and enjoying it, so... yeah, there's absolutely no reason to give it a miss.
Yeah, Polaris really like Rambling the Mountain King, and Turnip Boy robs a bank. I've got that ready to go. I'm looking forward to giving that a try, and I might give it a try in GFM. We'll see. I might actually do a wee test later and get shouted at by Kelly. Hi, Kelly, if you're in the chat. I might do a little testy on that later. Yeah, it's really, really interesting. And Polaris, we're going to come on to the monthly stuff as well a bit shortly. I know it's starting to ease up slightly. I know that keeps on going out from stock and into stock, but we'll touch into that. And yeah, and these reviews do not look favorable. It's just a whole load of nonsense, basically. And some of these comments are flipping ridiculous here tonight, which we're just going to skip on to. The next one is the original Rage, which was completely different when it first came out, using new technologies with mega texture, or whatever. Is it mega textures or something weird?
I think it was mega textures, yeah.
And all that. It's completely different to the new one, but I have played that a fair bit, and it's dead on, and got some good wee voice actors and stuff in it as well. So it's not oh my god, it's brilliant. It's one of them middling sort of games.
Yeah, the second one's much better, isn't it?
Yeah, the second one is head and shoulders so much better than it. We'll actually go on to the second one here. Again, that's on Epic as well. Don't believe the mixed stuff. This game is absolutely fantastic. I have completed it on Stadia, completed it on Xbox, got the platinum in PlayStation as well. So yeah, I absolutely love this game. It's what I would sort of describe it. It's weird as it sounds. It's very open worldy. That's because it's an open world, obviously, enough. And you can go, I'm going to do this little song, move on, do this little bit, move on, or call it quits for the night. It's night. There's a couple of big sort of set places in it. but it's a real good game, and I have a load of fun with that one.
Yeah, I think that's a fair shout. I mean, I've played this on. Likewise, I've played this on multiple platforms now. I think I've played it Xbox, PC, Stadia. So yeah, I've played it a little bit of everywhere on it, really. But yeah, it's definitely a far superior title, and it's quite fast paced. It's good fun.
Yeah, it's well worth picking up if you haven't picked it up for free on Epic. It's only £7. Get it, even pay the £10 there for the special super duper edition, because I think you get a wee bit more there. Yeah, you get the expansion as well. The expansion's dead on. It's just more of the same. It's not as good as for me. There's definitely a drop in quality compared to the main level of it, but yeah, it is well worth picking it up, and you can actually get some funky voices in it as well. Your bloke's in it.
Your bloke.
Your bloke, you're the Cockney guy who's in like Football Factory, and he was in EastEnders and all that sort of carry on.
Oh yeah. I know who you mean. I can't think of the guy's name, but yeah.
He's and you can change your wee companion or your wee speaking person to him, and he just goes full on Cockney for it, and just rips the arse out from it. So it's a bit of fun. Like, thoroughly recommended. Go pick that up on Steam if you haven't already got it free on Epic yet. Commanders were saying there that it was on there.
Now I'd buy the deluxe edition just for the BFG.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I said. For the extra couple of quid, you get the expansion and some other bits and bobs.
I wouldn't even worry about the expansion. It's got the BFG. That's enough said.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all fun. It's all fun. It's going to go pick it up. I can't recommend that game enough.
Okay.
But it'll be obviously it'll be on Game Pass as well. That's the really strange thing. Rage 2's on Game Pass, but Rage isn't. Interesting. We will go on to the games which are coming the rest of the month here. Barry, tell me what's the good games here.
Right, I'm going to name my top three. Okay. The top three games that make Feb stand out for me. Bear in mind, I know it's a leap year, but let's be honest, it's a short month. But the three games that stick out for me,
go first.
As good gets. Eh?
What's your first one? First one. Yeah, we're not talking Scottish. We're your first one.
I'll go in.
You go on, Sid.
Jog on. No.
No. You jog on.
I'll go from top to bottom. So the first one is Banishers. Coming
out on February 13th by Don't Know, and it is published by the big supporter of GFN in Focus Entertainment.
Telling you, this is one I feel like this is going to be one not to be missed. I think this is going to be a cracking launch title.
It looks okay.
What?
45 quid.
Yeah, it's a new title.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think it's one to look. Honestly, telling you now, it's gonna land. But that's one of three reasons that Feb is good.
Why do you think it's going to land?
There is, I mean, at the moment, I think I said this throughout last year. Focus Entertainment, in terms of a publisher, were probably one of the most consistent publishers. I feel like everything they've done in the last 18 months to, let's say, 2 years, let's give it a little bit of scope, has just been so well worked on. they've done fantastic jobs in each of the developers that they've worked with. The titles that they've landed with have been absolutely brilliant. They've played well. The performance has been good. Story's been good. Gameplay has been good. And I don't think this is going to be any different. I think at the moment they're in a place where, as a publisher, everything they touch is in such a good place. You can have a confidence that it's going to deliver a good game.
Yeah, there is about 19,000 people following that game, so there is a fair number of people looking out for it. So we will see. We will see. I'm just trying to find this. I had this before, where you get what's the most popular upcoming games on SteamDB, just to see, just in case I'm missing anything.
This is where Duncan looks at the list and realizes that 2 of my 3 choices are relatively high.
No, can't say anything. Haha.
Typical.
That's what I'm going for.
Typical.
That's what I'm going for. Sticking to it. Okay, what is the next game?
Nightingale.
Nightingale.
Obviously, supposed to launch last year, delayed into this year. Obviously, 9 days later, after
I'm out.
After
Oh, I'm out straight away. I'm out straight away. For the 3 tags. Early access, out. Survival game, out. Open world survival craft, I'm out. You're talking nonsense.
I don't think I am. I think Nightingale has got something about it. I think people are looking forward to it, and I think it is. I think it's a good get for this month.
I don't.
Well, there we go. What is it? Just those 3 reasons that you think? Is it those 3 game tags that are saying no, or is there something else?
Essentially, tags.
A little bit of cards in there, no? A little bit of deck.
Tough. Them 3 things is a total no for me, and I think my reasons are valid.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you're entitled to your reasons. And see, my other ones, I was torn between 2 to pick, but I'll go with this one because of its choice.
Oh, you can go for 2. You can go for your 2 more.
Oh dear. I'll go with my original 3rd pick, which was Tales of Arise. I know it's obviously a slightly older title, obviously, as we were talking about just before we went live. Bandai title. And I think this is, another good get for this month. It's part of the Tales of. People love it as a franchise. So the fact that we can now play this, I think is going to be spot on.
Yeah. I do not like the art style. I do not like the complete another anime art style. That's a complete turn off for me when I'm playing games. I just do not like that. It annoys my happiness.
Dear, oh dear.
Dear, oh dear, what?
We can't be annoying your happiness, can we?
No. Yeah, but I know people love them. Another Bandai Namco game, absolutely class. We're getting a couple of them. So yeah, I just don't. I'm not a big fan of anime sort of games.
Just fair enough.
And I know a lot of people are in the similar sort of things. So to say that it's anime type stuff, it's like I'm not what. Don't want to go into that at all. What was your other pick? We'll go for your other one here.
Okay, my fourth outsider pick. I'm not sure which way this one is going to land, but I know that there's people have got their eye on it. I'm intrigued to see kind of how it pans out. That Pacific Drive.
And
you'll be based on the previous tags. You'll probably be out, but.
You driving it?
Yes. It's literally.
I should have patience, shouldn't I?
Yes. You should.
Yeah, I'm not having patience.
I think
there's something more about that one. I would probably go a bit more into that one. Yeah, there's something more about that one.
It could go either way, but I think there's definitely something about what they're trying to do in terms of that survival thing. But essentially, it's survival car. It's like a driving survival game.
There's something more about that game. That would probably be your best pick.
There we go. If anybody else in chat wants to help support me in any way, then please feel free to comment, of course, because I thought I've made some really good solid picks there for this month.
Okay, I'm going to talk about a couple of games here for different reasons. Well, I'll save the controversial one till the end. For me, the Pac-Man games we've already discussed about more of the Bandai and Namco games coming. Good to see Pac-Man make its way across. That's a dead-on sort of game. It's a collection of all the other ones. Sorry, what am I up to there in that one? On that account, I'm 44 hours in Vampire Survivors. I've nearly got all the achievements, by the way, on that account. Anyway, so good to see Pac-Man come here. First one I want to jump to is The Walking Dead. We've got the Telltale game coming across. I think that is significant. Nice, easy achieves if you want them. And I think everybody knows about The Walking Dead and how much everybody loves that game. I think it's overrated. I would say nearly vastly overrated, but it's still a good game. Go on, Spill.
I feel like that's controversial in itself.
I think it's a good game, but the way people went on about it and said, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god," I thought it was a good wee game, but it was just like it was getting lapped up as like it was the second coming and all that sort of carry on. No, it wasn't. I have played some of it, but I actually prefer the other games in the Telltale did.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed the Batman franchise or the Batman game that they've got in Telltale. That's good. And I've played this, so I think it's weird because you look back on it and 4 years later from its release. I mean, 4 years ago, people were still talking about The Walking Dead. Not saying they're not talking about it now, but obviously with the TV series wrapping up and all that sort of stuff, for me, this is very much more aligned to the comics. And obviously that style kind of, suits it. But no, I think it's a good game.
Yeah. I think, yes, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I just think it was just overhyped at the time. It's a good game just to chill out to your kid. This is like the updated version of it, and as Kevin said in the chat, this is a compilation of all the Walking Dead ones, the 4 seasons, 400 days, mission, and all that sort of carry on. So well worth picking up. I will wait for the sale because they usually go on sale a lot.
think I picked this up for probably close to a tenner, if not less than a tenner, in one of the sales.
Yeah, so I'm actually happy enough that that is coming to GFN. It's already opted in and everything there, which is really, really good. So, what other game took my fancy? Yeah, it is this one here. I played Dark Forces when it first released. Fantastic game. I actually played it a couple of months ago, so I did. I think it's on GOG. And what happened, GOG and GFM? That was only that was just marketing for Cyberpunk, wasn't it?
I think so. I feel like it really was, because beyond Cyberpunk, they've done next to nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really need to get that, because that is a real opportunity there for them to really do something different. Get all the old games on there, because that's what they're going back to now. Is they're concentrating on bringing good games there and going back to the old ones. Go there and get more games. This is going to be controversial. You're either going to love the changes what they've done here, or you think that they're going to ruin them. I'm going to tell you now, if you go back and play GOG or the original version of it, and you see the difference, this is going to be a million times better, because then old DOS games have not aged well at all.
They really haven't. But they're still a classic.
It's still a classic. I think the pricing is going to be important for this one, but I think it's a good pickup there, and I am excited to get that again. And the last before we go into the controversial one is another Southern one, and it's Terminator Dark Fate Defiance. Again, interested enough to pick this up at some stage, but I'm not going to go out and get it straight away, even though it is an RTS. You're having a wee look at it there, and
No, sorry, I was looking at something else. I was just checking something.
give me good news. It's a good news for me.
Oh no, it wasn't that I was checking. I was just clarifying my numbers of something.
Oh my god! Like, come on,
Which
get with the program.
Well, no, I am with the program because it contributes to my point that it's a solid month.
Okay, well, it's your point that it's a solid month.
50% of February's list are new releases.
Yes. I'll expand it out even further, and you're on Steam, and it's not more Xbox stuff.
Yes.
Which is good to see, because I was getting bored of just Xbox re-releases. They sound harsh, but
I get what you mean. That it's one of those ones that it served a purpose, but it kind of then erred into that territory of, can you really say that there's 27 games coming this week? Or like before Christmas, there was that point of, can you really say there's X amount of games coming? Because, as you say, there were re-releases of the storefront. So
yeah, it's good to have them in both stores, but it was inflating the numbers each week, sort of thing. And yeah, and we were saying the same games like from months ago and all that. But yeah, it's good. I'm actually, in some ways, yes, this is so much better. But I want different games. And the problem that they've got is it's a wider sort of one at this moment in time in the whole gaming industry, even with all the bad stuff which is going on in the gaming industry, with all the people losing their jobs and all that sort of carrying all the downsizing. There's far too many games coming out, and I still can't believe I'm saying that. I've been saying that for a while, but I think it's actually getting worse now. There's so many games coming out, and so many games what I would classify as okay to good, which I've got a bit of sort of interest in. Like, even from that list there, there's a couple there I would want to sort of play, even though I've been ripping at the backside out from it, like Star Wars. Yes, I want to play Star Wars. I want to play Terminator, and I do want, just for intrigue purposes, the game are going to come on to The Last in Skull and Bones just to see how bad it is. There's just far too many games coming out, and the games I want aren't going on the list. But you're happy enough with this. The games on that.
Yeah. I mean, for the ones that I particularly picked out that I know I've been keeping tabs on, again, that's what makes it stronger for me, because I think they're good picks. But I think what you're saying is valid, isn't it? There will be games that people will have their eye on that they'll want to play that maybe aren't on that list. So that's where it kind of goes and swings and roundabouts sometimes, and that can be a week-to-week thing. Sometimes it can be a month thing on GFN, where we have months where it's like, yeah, this is a great month, or others where you recognise the strength of the month, but they're not necessarily for you.
Yeah, for me, I can see this month here is good because they're bringing more Capcom games. They're bringing the Telltale games. They're bringing that. It's more of that the Bandai and Namco game and the Tales. It's just not really exciting me this month at all. And see, I'm excluding the ones at the top here. She did like that, and including the ones at the top there, just because we knew they were coming. The rest of the month is not inspiring me, but as we know, they turn around and do that. I'm going to put a prediction out here. You're going to laugh at this prediction, but I'm going to put a prediction out here. We're going to have Pal World on GFN relatively soon.
I mean, I hope so. I mean,
I think it's the biggest load of crap, and I'm not sure if you're playing it. I have went into it and I go, nope, that is absolute garbage. I'm out from there, and it was. I know people are overjoyed and they think it's the best thing since sliced. I think it's the biggest load of nonsense. But if it can get your hooks into it, I read a review today from VGC. Basically, it's the biggest load of nonsense, but somehow I'm addicted. It's sort of thing. No, I got out from there. I just did not like it at all. But I think it is going to come to GFN relatively soon because of the Microsoft partnership. Because Microsoft are starting to put money into that. It's a Game Pass game as well. I think it's an easy sort of one over there.
The thing is, if they bring it, whilst it's important to bring the multiple storefronts, I genuinely hope that they go with the Steam version, because the Game Pass version is the Game Pass version isn't great. I think I don't know it exactly, but I think it's roughly 6 months behind the Steam version.
Yeah. They've brought it up a fair bit now, so they have recently.
Have they caught up now? I was going to say.
I don't think it's par, or I'm not sure if it's. But they have brought it. It's not 6 months behind now. They have brought it a fair bit up, and Microsoft are starting to put money into that because they realize how big of a deal off it is. So yeah, I think we're going to get Pal World. I'm not saying in the next week or two, but I do think we're going to get Pal World relatively soon.
I do hope that they do, because again, it's one, and I'm not saying it's going to disappear, but it's something that we've seen. You mentioned earlier how we seen, there's almost too many games, and I think when things like that are happening, when you've got a game like Pal World that is kind of breaking concurrent records and that sort of stuff, and it's had a mass outpouring of people playing it. I'm not saying that number's going to fall off a cliff necessarily, but with new titles coming out, people will start to move on from that into other things. And then if you do, that's why timing of getting these titles sometimes can be so critical, because if you get Power World to GFN at the wrong time, then it's almost like the you're not riding the wave. The wave's already broken.
Yeah, I've just checked it. It's still doing brave numbers, so it is, but it is definitely on its. It is. It's on its way down.
But the thing is, I mean, that released and then Enshrouded was was not long after it, and people have already started to go from that to Enshrouded.
Yeah, it's Enshrouded. Yeah, that's doing decent numbers as well. That's over 100,000.
Yep.
So it's all good. Again, sometimes you made the point earlier. Sometimes people can't see the wood for the trees, and they just get it because it just affects them. Normally, I can stand back and go, I don't like that game, but I can see what the merit of it being there. And the perfect illustration is from last night, which we'll come on to straight after this. The big game of the month is Skull and Bones. It's finally fucking releasing.
I'm going to sound really harsh now, so I apologise, Caseball, but I think maybe they should just put it back in the oven and burn it to a cinder, because I played the demo at the end of last year and it just didn't click with me. And even as much as I tried to kind of almost rekindle that Black Flag type feeling, it just really didn't work. It didn't hit with me, and I was just like, yeah, no, for me it's a pass.
For me, I am going to be signing up to Ubisoft Plus just to give that a go. I just want to see the car wreck. And that's what this game is. You can't dress it up any other way. It is a complete another car wreck from start to finish. From the initial initial showing right up until now, it keeps on getting the stories you hear get worse and worse. Firstly, when I seen the full thing, was it from 2 years? Stadia was still alive, so it must have been about 2 years ago. I thought, oh my god, this is a free-to-play title. It's not a free-to-play title. It just looked like it was being made that way. 60 quid for this looks a rip-off, and I think it's going to drop like a stone.
I agree. I think the price probably will drop quickly. I mean, Caseball says it plays well, and I think there is probably elements of appreciation from the work that's done on it, but as I said, it wasn't necessarily a graphical or a performance related thing for me. It was just, I just didn't click with the game.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting to see. They've stuck with it. They've got it out. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
One thing I do want to talk about Ubisoft here. We got a code off it of GFM for it, and that was Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia is fantastic if you have not played it. Metroidvania sort of game. I'm telling you that I'm enjoying it more than I enjoyed Metroid Dread. And you can see how it's took from that, and you can balance it out. If you're feeling it's too difficult, you can drop it down. You can tweak it all you like. Well worth playing. This one, I said it from the word go. If you remember Eddie, I said I was going to play this for Eddie because he was working on it. So I'm going to continue to say that I'm going to do it for the month. just to see it.
There's you mentioning it and me realising that I missed the fact that Prince of Persia was there were GFN codes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We will move on here. Shall we go Xboxy or should we go? We'll go for PlayStation first. This is just a recap for what happened at the PlayStation 1. And why hasn't... Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. I was looking at the wrong thing. PlayStation, a lot of these games will make their way over, or some of these games will make their way over to GFN. I think it's good to have a look what's going on in the wider sort of market and all that. What would you give this show last night? A, B, C, or D?
D.
I'm giving it a B plus.
Were we watching different shows?
I think we must have been. The way I would describe this was the Xbox show, which we're going to come on to, had one big hitter for me, and then they trumped everything in this one. This show here has more games I want to play. Straight off. I know there's more games in this one. I was more excited about this one because it's more of the games I want to play in this one compared to the Xbox one outside of Indie.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think...
But it all comes down to game taste, and I'm telling you now, there's two big games out from this, which I think is the most... We're talking about overrated people. The most overrated person in the whole gaming industry is Hideo Kojima, but I recognize that people absolutely love him. Death Stranding 2 looks completely and utterly nuts. And then he's basically saying, oh, here we go. I'm just going to make a Metal Gear Solid just for a laugh and not just call it Metal Gear Solid. And I think it's exclusive to PlayStation as well. I'm sorry, you can't just... Even though I'm not a big fan of his work, I recognize what he is and all that. Them two announcements were top tier, and that will infuse people a hell of a lot, especially the Metal Gear Solid, which isn't Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, and I think that was part of my... I don't know, I think it was possibly part of my issue with the showcase in itself, and it's something that we've seen before from PlayStation, in the fact that it felt like there was an element of regurgitation from stuff that we've already seen. Like, we've already seen the Final Fantasy stuff during the summer last year. We've already seen bits of Death Stranding. We've already seen, clips from Rise of the Ronin. And that's, for me, whilst I appreciate there was a recap of stuff that's coming in the near future and then stuff that's slightly longer term, that's why, for me, it felt like it was a bit of a miss.
Okay, we'll start it off. Dave the Diver.
Well, you can't knock it, can you? I mean, I've not played it, but everybody I know that has played it has said it's class.
That should be on GFN. That's big no bones about it. That should be on GFN. That was a big get, and not a big massive, oh my god, this is so important, but that was a good get for PlayStation Dave the Diver. It's got real good reviews there. I think I want to play that. Death Stranding 2 on the beach. I don't want to play that, but it looks becking nuts, and it is a real good get. Or it's a real exciting sort of game for people. I can see why people go.
Yeah.
Dragon's Dogma 2. I think was it Caseball said this possible game of the year.
What?
contender here.
No,
Dragon's
he said.
Dogma.
I thought he was talking about Enshrouded.
Oh. Or who was? I thought someone said Dragon's Dogma 2. I know some people are really, really excited about Dragon's Dogma 2. I have seen people say that is looking at their game of the year. I must have read it somewhere else. I think, I know that's going other places. Let's hope it goes to GFN. GFN, yeah or nay for that one?
I'm gonna say nay.
Ooh, let's just check. It is not opted in yet. It's Capcom are doing it, so that's I'm going to say yes at some stage.
On you and saying that they did bring the first one last year, didn't they? Was it first one or one of them?
Yeah,
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. I don't think it'd be day and date though.
you're not going down yet. Next one is Foam Stars, which is the lazy way of saying Splatoon, which people have actually played it and say it's not like Splatoon. It's similar, but it's not like it. It's actually a lot more fun than it looks. That could be a sleeper one. I don't think that will come to GFN. I don't think. Helldivers, interesting. It's a PC game, which is a PlayStation Studios one. What do you think for that one? Sorry. Dragon's Dogma 2, I'm interested in playing. Foam Stars, I will be playing.
I'll probably try Foam Stars by virtue of the fact it's PlayStation Plus.
Helldivers 2, I want to pick that up.
Yeah, I mean, Helldivers 2, possibly. Possibly.
Do you think that's going to come to GFN?
No, I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming either. Maybe later in the year. Maybe depends who becomes the new PlayStation 1. What was your thoughts on Judas?
I thought Judas didn't look too bad. It was one of the titles that I thought, that doesn't look that bad.
Judas for me, it's Bioshock in space. I don't need to say anything more. That is really, really excited for that one. It's not indie level, it's just below indie level for me. Legendary Tales, which is, I think Polaris will know this one, is a VR game. I thought that looked ropey as anything. That's a skeleton one.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think it looked good. Polaris was excited for Metro Awakening. I think that looked interesting.
Yeah, I think that it had potential.
If I had a VR, yes, I would be getting that game. Next up is Rise of the Rohan. I think that looks amazing. Sorry, it's right up my street.
It is. It looked almost Assassin's Creed-ish.
Just like Ghost of Tsushima, sort of with sort of interesting sort of characters. So I mean, again, this is what I'm saying. Why I thought this was a decent enough, because most of the games I have a interest in.
Yeah, but which Rise of the Ronin, I'm on the same page with that. But how many of those games that we've just gone through do we already know about or are already out?
What did you give the Xbox conference? You can see exactly where I'm going with this point.
No. I'm just going to say one thing about the Xbox conference: indie, and indie. That was it.
Yes, but when you indie was coming, I know. But equally, I would have given the Xbox show an equally a low rating. The only thing for me that really made the Xbox thing was indie. Yeah, and that, believe it, I will be giving the Xbox conference a different sort of. I'm still going to be giving it a good score. Silent Hill, I think that looked a lot of fun. I've got that downloaded, ready to go to play later.
Wait, you're going to play a scary game?
Yeah.
God.
So yeah, I've got that downloaded. So Silent Hill as well. Yeah, I'm both excited about that. There's a chance they will come to GFM. Sonic Shadow, I think I would give that a word. This game, as it has been affectionately called by Kelly, the booby game. Because other people picked up. I wasn't even paying attention to that game beforehand. It's not because of the boobs, or the TNA in the game. It's actually, I wouldn't mind actually giving it a bit of a go. But for me, that's a wait for sale. But I do want to play it.
I wasn't sold on it.
It just reminded me of it's going to sound like nearly Final Fantasy 13 sort of thing, like an old, not the new Final Fantasy, a slightly step or two back Final Fantasy. So I was actually interested in that. Until Dawn. Until Dawn's a good little game. I'll be picking that up. So, is this the thing? If you're into the games.
Yeah, but again, it goes back to the point I made at the end of last year. I know we've got new games here, but it's another do-over.
I have no problem with do-overs.
It's okay if you're... But are you going to go spend 60, 70 quid on that?
No. That's why you wait for sales.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you would wait for the sale, or alternatively, you'd find a PS4 copy so that you can upgrade for a tenner if they're going to do it.
That's what I'm hoping to do. To do that. Fun thing about Until Dawn, me and Kelly were playing, or not playing it together. I was playing it, she was watching. We actually set the camera up because that was one of the features from the PlayStation one. Is if you had the PlayStation camera, when it was coming up to a scary part, the camera would come on and record your reaction. But the thing about that was, I knew when the scary bits were coming up because the wee light in the camera would light up, going, "Oh, there must be a scary." So I had to prepare myself not to jump.
Oh dear.
Yeah, another fun. Free Rising, which is on GFM.
Yep.
Coming to console. Yeah, good pick up there. No. I just remember this game. I think you know why. This was, I think, the game I said, no, I'm 100% not playing for, for. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it would be one that, that I'd play. So I guess you can see from that perspective, Rise of the Ronin and Judas, for me, obviously, they were the ones that kind of stood out in that list.
Yeah, for me, I thought it was really, really solid. I didn't like some of the longer parts of it. Some of the extra, I'm gonna say that. What's that name of that game again? It's gonna end up like that EA game, which I can never remember the name of.
What, Wild Hearts?
No.
Mortals of Avium.
That's the bad boy.
Yeah.
Which one was it again? Yes, the Stellar Blade one. I just can't remember the name. I was looking up all the announcements from the Xbox conference. So we'll look at the Xbox stuff, and I think that should do it. And comments below what you want us to tackle next time. So did that work there? All the announcements aside, what was your take on aside before I get into my take on aside?
It didn't really. I don't felt like it resonated with me, and I feel like it. I don't know whether it's purposeful with its design in terms of its I guess art style, if you like. But I just looked. I think I looked at Avowed and felt like it didn't look like a next gen game.
Aside from me, I was more excited for it before seeing it. Sorry, what was your rating of the conference?
Oh, what are we doing? The whole A to D thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to be consistent. I'll give it a D.
You think that the Xbox one was a D as well?
Well, I'm going to be absolutely consistent for very similar reasons to the PlayStation one.
I give it an A-.
I've obviously become hard to please.
Yes,
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just too easy to please. I thought I actually enjoyed the show. I think they could have cut it down in places. I think they went overboard with a couple of places, but the overall show, what I really enjoyed. Kelly hated it 100%. She hated it. She thought it was far too long. It was don't bore us, go to the course sort of thing. Just show us the trailers and away you go. Yeah, I think they could cut down the fluff or do maybe trailers and do the talking after, because there's two different audiences here. For the hardcore people who like hearing about it, yeah, work away with that. If you're just here to hear about the games, you're going to bore them. Aside, I did not like. It made me feel sick watching it. I know that's becoming a bit of a meme online about there's no games that have actually made you feel sick. I've said before, games have made me feel sick when playing them on Stadia. I've said other things. Watching Avowed made me sick. I think the POV? It's POV? Yeah. It's completely and utterly wrong in that game. It was just really jarring, and it was actually making me feel sick watching it. I thought it looked really stiff and wooden. The car. I hope I'm wrong. I know some people are out there saying it's a third game of the show, even above, and I do not know what they're smoking. For me, from all the games which are mentioned in this one, it's the one's at the bottom for me by a distance.
I mean, yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, move on.
Just remember the games here to have them in order. Yes. Hellblade 2.
Again, I think everybody's going to be looking forward to it. May, it's going to be good for May, but I feel like we've seen trailers at the past 2 years worth of events. It's like, I don't want to say I'm over it, but I think we we need to look at what we're hailing for content in shows as to the frequency that we're showing those things or how we're showing them.
You think it's been overexposed?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's no way to get away from it. It's anticipated, and you know that it's going to be a strong title. But the use of it at the showcases, it is, for me, is overused.
Okay, Hellblade. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it is going to be highly rated. The way I would describe it, I described this on Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. If this was a movie, it would be Oscar bait. I think this is Game of the Year bait. And that's not to be disingenuous or anything like that. I just think it's being made a certain way. I think it's going to resonate to the critics. I think a lot of people. It's going to be a remedy game. And that's not. I think the people who get it are going to absolutely love it and not shut up about it. And I think it's going to get a load of awards. It sounds like I'm being negative, but I'm not. I think it's going to be a smashing game, but I just don't think.
The thing I'm intrigued to see with it is, obviously, the first one heralded a really good reputation. When the second one comes along, how do they follow it up and make it feel new but equally something familiar that you engage with?
And the thing about this game as well is it's going to get hammered by the critics. What I mean, I know I just said it's going to be loved by the critics, but they're going to pick apart every little flaw now, which they didn't do in the last game, because it's a first party title. I think it's going to score well, but they're going to rake it over the coals for stuff they wouldn't have got raked over the coals last time.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be really good. I think it's going to review well. I think it's going to be in the Game of the Year lists, possibly even winning it. I think they're, like I said, Game of the Year bait, which isn't meant to slag it off. I just think it's interesting. It's up on my list. Next one was Visions of Mana, which isn't going to Game Pass, which it was never coming to Game Pass, but some people decided to run with it. It is because it's the first time a Mana game is going to Xbox, and that's why it was first on Xbox, and people day one on Xbox is because it's the first one going day one to Xbox. I thought it looked fine.
Yeah, I'd say that accurately describes it.
If you're into that game, you're going to like it. Our History Untold Civilization, made by Xbox.
Yep.
I don't think you're either going to go, yep, I'm going to play that day one, or you're not going to touch it with a barge pole. The reason why I say day one, it's going to be on Game Pass, so it's well worth trying if you're into Civilizations. And the last one is Indiana Jones. It just looked amazing.
It absolutely did.
I don't think there's
any. The work that they've done with that is.
What the? United threw away a 3-1 lead. And they just scored in the last minute to make it 4-3. United did. Oh, sorry. I was getting excited there. Yeah, but
I'll give up.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's hard times.
Indy looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. It looks like they've done a cracking job with it, and I can't wait to play it.
Yeah, but just remember, all these games are going to go to GFM bar the Visions one, and they should be day and date-ish. Well, ish. I'm going to say by the time I get to indie, they will be all day and date. So I think all of them will go more the stay date. The only one which I would be a bit iffy about will be Hellblade, because it's still early on this year. We'll just see how it all develops, but I would be pretty confident that the ones launching this year, at the end of this year, will go day and date. The interesting thing about, if you want to go console worry of sorts, PlayStation are all front-loaded, which means all their games are at the beginning of the year. Xbox have the opposite problem, where they're all backloaded, all coming at the end of the year. Just something to keep an eye on, or maybe have a discussion on at some stage. A- for me. I thought it was better in PlayStation just for indie.
I know it probably seems daft, but for me, your highlights there really are indie. Hellblade, as I say, I think they've overused Hellblade, so it's a D. But indie looks banging. PlayStation wise, not really I don't really feel there's enough balance. A couple of titles there that I was like, yeah, good. They look like ones that I want to play. Happy days, there we go. 2 games apiece from each of the showcases. Some overused titles. A D on both sides of the fence.
I think they were both similar shows. They were good for different reasons. I'm going to play Hellblade. I'm going to play Ara, and I will play Indie as well. For me, Indie's way up there. Then there's Judas just below it. Then a whole batch of PlayStation games and a couple of Xboxy ones in the middle. I think PlayStation has got more games I want to play sooner outside of Indie than what Xbox was showing, but that's opinions and everybody has got them. So I think both are in a good little spot. We know the Xbox games really coming to GFN, but yeah, it's an interesting, and it's been a cracking opening of the year. And then we've got some big news coming out later this year with the Switch coming out, and there's more stuff going to be happening.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's going to be another interesting year. I feel like 2023 we were, as gamers, we were probably spoiled because we had a lot that launched at exceptionally, I would say, at probably exceptionally good levels and good standards. What we now see is how does 2024 take that mantle and push it forward? Does it have that same impact, or do we suffer a bit of an off year because 23 was so strong?
Yeah, I'm going to say I think we're in a strong year this year. Will it top last year? That is the question. If you just look at the opening from the start of this year, it's absolutely banging. We'll go. So I'm just looking up the games in 2024. My God, 2024. We have had such a strong start of the year, and that's not even showing The Last of Us here. Or this, we've had Tekken 8 90, The Last of Us 90, Like a Dragon 89, Persona today 89, Prince of Persia 86. What a strong start of the year. We've got Indie coming up, which is going to be good. We've got Hellblade coming up, which is going to be good. We've got the PlayStation games, which are going to be good as well. If we get the Switch this year, we're going to have a 3D Mario by all accounts, which is going to be really good. I don't think we're going to get as many highs. They're getting real highs like last year, but I think we're going to have another uptick in quality. I think we're going to get a load more games in the 90s sort of zone. But
we can hope, can't we?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's a good place to end the door. Put in the comments below what you want us to cover again. And we are trying to get things back on the road here. If things hopefully have settled down, and we will see what all we can do.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we'll knock it in the head there. We'll see you all again later. Mm-hmm.
Catch you later.